I've been having a great time today making these little books. Check this out. I've decorated it. This is Stampin' Up! Papers and bits and pieces that I've had for a while now. But it is a one sheet fold that gives you a little bit of a fold out, which you can see there at the back. And then I have stitched in this little booklet in the middle for some note taking. So a great little memory folder, which has pockets that you can slide items in. It also has a pocket here in the middle, so you can have things like a little tag. I'll put the name of the person and their channel, where I got this idea from, but I'd wanted to share it with you now. One reason, because it's so cool. You just have to try it out yourself. And the other reason is that if I do this on my channel, I'll be able to refer to it over and over again, so I don't forget how to make them myself. So for this one that I'm going to show you, we're going to use some pink paisley paper. So I've cut out a really nice pretty pink piece of paper here with some floral on the back. I've got some of the chipboard bits and pieces or paper elements that we can use to decorate it once it's done. And I've got a little booklet here ready to put in the middle. So I'm just going to take you through step by step how you actually make one of these. So I want this to be the outside, so I'm going to flip that down. Very first thing I'm going to do is fold this over, but I'm not going to crease all along the fold. I just want to crease here like this with one finger and here with one finger. Okay, so I'm just marking where the center of that fold is. Now, just before I go on, in terms of size, 3x4, so whatever dimensions you use, 3x4. I'd really like to do a big one. I just don't have the paper to do a big one right now. So next thing you do is you take one of the long slides that you fold up to that line in the middle. And now you can go ahead and get your trusty bone folder and give that a little bit of a squidge along that line. And you want to do that one, and you also want to turn around and do the other side. Okay, right, so we've got that fold. We're going to open that up, and then we are going to fold in half this way. Now, I believe the videos for these folds have been around on YouTube for a little while, but they may have come from a book called The Art of Fold. I've actually ordered that on Amazon because I absolutely love this stuff. So once along the middle, and then you want to take this edge and bring it up to the middle. And again, give that a good fold. And then you want to open that one, but then sort of fold back on itself. If you're working with floral print, it is a little bit hard to see sometimes, but you know, just take it as you come. Now this fold here, we're going to take that up and we're going to pinch it, and we're going to bring that into the middle, like so, making sure that's lined up on both sides. And then we're going to fold that down. So on this side it looks like this, on this side it looks like that, okay? You can see that it's got that fold. And now we're going to take this bottom fold and we're just going to fold it along this crease line. So check where that one is and line up and fold that like so. And we're going to do the same on the other side where that crease line is. So fold it and make sure it's lining up along that crease line. Like I said, it's a bit hard for me to see, but I'm just, I reckon I've got it there. There we go. Right, so once you've got that there, you're going to fold this back down, and then you're going to take this side here and you're going to fold that down along this crease line that you see here, so this edge to that crease line, and then give that a bit of a bone fold. I'm going to call that a bone fold. Okay, there we go. And then you're going to flip that, and you are going to go back where you folded these earlier. You're going to flip that over and you'll see that you've made your little pockets there. So that process that we just went through was making the pockets that are going to be inside of this little piece that we're doing. Now my folding, I'm trying to keep it pretty accurate, but I mean I need to have a bit of wiggle room in there as well, but anyway. Okay, so there we have that section done, and you can see the little pockets in it that way. All right, so now it's time for us to work on the other section. So focusing on this other end, we are going to take this first side. We're going to make this edge line up with here. So we're just making like one of these paper aeroplane type triangle-y fold things, like so. We're going to do the same on the other side to make that point. And then we want to take this edge back again, back on itself, along that edge. And we're doing the same on the other side there as well. Okay. So this is kind of what it looks like. And then, just to make things a little bit easier, get your bone folder. I might just get my smaller one here. And then where you see this line here, you just run that through, because we're going to do a bit of folding along that line. So just score a little bit along that part there. Because now you're going to bring it up and you're kind of going to flip it. So you're going to open that up, and then you're going to, so you open it up square again, and then you kind of take this point and start to bring it down so that it comes down and it has this little bit of a triangle there. So with that fold, it should come down on itself. So you'll see there. So with this one here, same thing, just fold it back the way it was, and then grab hold of this point and bring that down, and it will go back on itself, so that fold there. So just gently bring that forward so that this pink line lines up, and then you'll have those two pieces that are kind of poking out, and you can tuck one side into the other to bring that together. And once you've brought that together, this piece here, this bottom triangle, you tuck that in on itself. So I'm just going to turn this around, and you kind of just poke it in underneath itself like so, along that line. And then you can give all of that a little bit of a touch up with your bone folder. So there's a little bit that's poking through here. I can see a little bit of colour, but that's fine. Now that is the basics of your book. So what you need to do now is you fold this across, and you fold that in on itself too. So here we go. And you might want to bring this forward a little bit as well, which I did on my last one. And then you can use this bit here to tuck that piece in. Now there's still a bit of a gap here, so just play it by ear. I like to bring it up tight and have this little bit of an edge on it. Just like so. So we have this edge there. And that is the inside of the book. So now I'm going to decorate this, but first I want to put some paper inside of it. So all I've done here, I've just got some copy paper that you normally do with printing paper. So I'm just going to open this up because I'm going to attach that here on the inside. And at the moment it's a little bit long, so I'm just going to cut a bit off the edge here so that it fits more neatly. So I'm just going to line that up, grab the steel ruler. I'll probably take that much off because there's still very uneven sheets there. So I've just I think I did it 10 by 16, but I'm still having to cut down that edge. So if you're looking at these measurements, so very carefully just run a very sharp knife down that edge to clear up the edge of that little booklet. And then you want to find the center of that booklet and work out where it's going to sit on the inside here. And this is where you will get an awl and also some cotton. For the cotton, you're going to need, so like 1, 2, 2.5 should do it. I'm just going to go 3. This was a little book binding kit that I got off Temu. So I'll just show you that now while I'm threading the needle. So yeah, very easy to get started in some book arts if you purchasing some cheap stuff. It's a good way to start. I mean, it's not the best quality. I shouldn't say that. The quality is good. But if you're wanting some more expensive tools, I don't think you need it for basic jobs like this. Now for this, I'm going to punch through in about the middle. Okay. And then I've got that cardboard there, so I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm actually going to make this a smaller stitch so I can see the edge of the cardboard there. So I'm only just going to go sort of like 1 inch either side of that middle one to hold it. Okay, so I'm not going all the way across to the edge. And you start by putting your cotton through the middle one, leaving a little bit there at the edge. You come back through that first hole. You might need to go searching for the hole because it's not, it moves around when it's in your hand. Let's see if I can get it through. It's good enough. All right, so through there, you're going to go all the way up. Let's make sure I don't pull that all the way through. All the way up to the top hole. Push it through. I just want to make sure that I do get it through the actual ones I made. Excellent, there it is. So you have that one big stitch there, and then coming back through the center again. Now I know that's not as tight as what it needs to be, but I'm going to fix that in a second. So back through the center. And then I'm going to tighten that by just pulling on that string. I think I actually went through the middle of it, did I? Now, how do you manage to do that? Hang on. As only I would know how. That wasn't very clever, was it? You know what? I'm going to take it out of the needle because I don't need it in there at the moment anyway. So just making sure that both those pieces are tight on the outside, which they are. And you don't want these both on the one side. You're going to have to tuck one in coming from the other side so that you're tying over the top of that middle bit. And it's just a normal tie like this. Sorry about that, folks. All right, so there you have your booklet in the middle where you can write little notes. You can keep little things in here like a little tag. Might put a ribbon on that, for example. You could have a little, this is where it gets a lot of fun because you can start decorating a little bit. I might even put a choose kindness tag there. These little tabs are really sweet. They've all been perforated. So I'm just going to cut along the perforation there. Which you still have a little bit of space here. You could be a little bit cheeky and put like a little bit of a tag there on your pages as well. So maybe a tag here on the first one because that will still fold over fine. And I'll give that a little bit more of a border. So maybe one on that page. Put another one there. And I found this washi tape which kind of fits in with the theme too. So even just decorating up the front with a little bit of washi tape. Right, I have to confess, guys, I went on a little bit of a a crafter's rabbit hole. I found a box full of different embellishments that I had, and I was reminiscing a little bit, thinking about all the wonderful things that I had there. I got a bit distracted, as you normally do whenever you're going through some craft stuff. So I'm back on track now. I'm just putting the finishing touches to the front. I found some of these, I think they were like Kaisercraft petals and the Kaisercraft jewels. They were the old pearls there. Found some of those. What I do find is that, I haven't done scrapbooking for such a long time, and I love it. I'll have to show you some of my scrapbook albums. If you're interested, let me know in the comment section. But I used to love scrapbooking, and it was so much fun. And I just, it's like anything, life gets in the way. Now, when I was searching, I took out that pink file folder because I found this one in the tub that I had, and I thought, oh, this is probably going to flick all those flowers. Yep, I knew that was going to do that. How did I know that? Because it just did. So let me just put that down. Actually, let me just put something heavy on this and come back, shall we? Okay, right, I've got that on the flowers. After that one. So this is the inside. I didn't like the date. I thought the happy was better there. So I moved that to inside. Let's move these pieces along. We've got the little booklet with some tags, and you can put extra tags in if you wanted to. You have this pocket at the back, which I thought would be great for this tag. I just need to cut this tag down. So I'm just going to pop that in my trimmer over here and do that. And then that can fit into that pocket for some more writing. And I think that we might have finished this really cute little journal that could be used as a memory keepsake or anything to do with little travel. Just take that off now. Hopefully the flowers won't spring off again as I'm popping them in. This is such a fun fold to take one sheet of paper, 3x4, which I did 12 by 9 inches, and create a little bit of a journal book, which is exactly what this is. I was just so excited. To say I was excited was probably an understatement. So let's just go through the books that I had, or the little books that I have made today with this fold. So this is the first one. This is Happy, and you open it up, and you can pop the date in here. Choose Kindness. I've tabbed off 2 pages, and in the back we've got a little bit of a tag that you can add to. Plenty of place still for you to place lots of other different pieces that you might like if you're using this for journaling or memory keeping. The Sent with Love, I just used some Stampin' Up papers on this one. This one's really simple. I have a little tag in the back and just a place to write some notes or do a few sketches. And both of these were just made with sort of like normal cardstock, I guess, stuff that you would get if you were purchasing it in one of those cardstock paper packs. This was thicker cardstock, a little bit harder to fold, but I've called this one Delight in Life. I found all these lovely embellishments that I've had. And inside this one, as you can see, it's a little bit more chunky. We've got a bit of a nautical theme, not nautical, botanical theme, places to put there in the pockets as well. I've added a little bit of a cardstock name tag there, and at the back, just some little bits of ephemera and so on to make the little booklet. So these have been a lot of fun. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing this too. You may have already seen this on YouTube, or you may be making these kind of folds yourself. If you haven't, then I hope that I've inspired you to start and try out using this fold for your own projects. So thank you for sticking around watching the video today. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. It's amazing what you can pick up from Temu these days. This is a little bookmaking kit, and inside of it we've got all of these items. So wax thread, clips, pair of scissors, we've got some linen cord, bone folders, needles, some threads. We've got needle threaders, which will come really handy because I can't see anymore. Some more big needles in here in the tube. Thimble, so you don't stub your finger. Some more clips. We have a couple of awls. Another clip. A metal ruler. And also an applicator for glue. Now, this is an amazing kit for the price that it comes. The only thing, I guess, well, it's like everything now, it's always covered in a ton of plastic. But I'm going to use this for a special project today. I'm using some of this white thread.